All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to talk about um, exact values, and there's a lot of things that we need to do, which is this is the homework. Basically, have all the things. But before we get to that, you had some type of understanding. So first, let's understand what is related to exact value. So basically, if you start with sine of a type of angle, that's equal to, it's called Sohcahtoa, so it's opposite over hypotenuse. So this is Sohcahtoa. This is So, S-O-H. Then you got opposite over hypotenuse. But inside a triangle right here, let's say looking at the blue triangle right here, right? This is the blue triangle. This is the theta. This is the opposite. This is adjacent. And this is the hypotenuse. Does that make sense? You got to change? Okay, cool. Fast. And then this one is also known as a y value. And let's look at the x value, and this just h still. So it's y over h. Instead of o over h is y over h. So y is equal to o in this case. The opposite is equal to that. So that's equal to y over h. Now, inside the unit circle, the h, the hypotenuse is always what? It's always positive, good, but it's always what? 1, right? Yeah. Identity don't grade. Let's grade unit circle. I'll grade identity. So that's equal to y. So that we know, therefore, sine of theta is equal to y inside a unit circle. So sine of any angle is equal to y value of the unit circle at that particular angles. So this is the sum up to be. Now, same thing, you can get cosine of theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. Now, adjacent is the x value over h. Now, again, x over 1 is equal to x. So cosine of an angle is represent the x value of the coordinates. And then tangent of theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. So that's equal to y over x. No way around it. You can also think about sine of theta over cosine of theta. That's another way to think about it. So that's all the stuff we're going to teach you today. But we're going to do a couple problems to make sure you guys are good at it. If I were to ask you, what is sine of, I don't know, pi over 3? How many of you guys know the value? Raise your hand. I don't want you to answer it. I want to know like who knows. I have 3 people knows the value, 4 people knows the value, 5 people know the value, 6. Okay, so what happened to the rest? Sam, not sure? Okay, that's good. So if you're not sure, that's why I'm here to help you. And let's just say, what is sine of pi over 3? That just means, what is the y value when the angle is exactly pi over 3? So Rebob, what do you think is sine of pi over 3 is what? Radical 3 over 2. That's perfect. How did he know it's radical 3 over 2? Is basically he go to look at the pi over 3 and to get the sine value. Okay, to get the sine y value. And the y value is going to be like this. Now, you have to understand all the pi over 3 has the same exact value. Has same exact value. So it just may be positive or negative. I think somebody's cell phone can be out of the window soon. So I'm going to give you an empty one just in case you need it. This is kind of like handicap. You don't really necessary to have it. It's just a handicap for you to use, but you don't really need it. If you don't need it, you don't have to pick it up. If you need it, you pick it up, but Just like for people who need it. But please write empty on the top. Just keep it empty. Do an empty one. So you cannot look at the one that's already filled in. If you look at already filled in, that's too easy. Now let's go to the next question. How about cosine of 7 pi over 6? Let's ask cosine of 7 pi over 6, and let's pick on somebody who feel uncomfortable with this. Now again, making mistake right now is perfectly fine. I understand people make mistake. If you don't make mistake, that means you don't learn. So process is learning, make mistake, and correct from your mistake. So cosine 7 pi over 6. Mason, what do you think?
3 over 2.
Okay. Sam.
Negative square root of 3 over 2.
Negative square root 3 over 2. Good job. And it's okay, you got square root 3 over 2 because you had the right value, but just look at the wrong quadrant. So because this is at the third quadrant. By the way, some of you guys still don't know your quadrant. That's kind of scary. Your quadrant should label as 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? 4 is I before B, right? Okay. So it's a C. That's how you're going to be is C. Okay? So that's what cosine of 7 pi over 6 is negative square root 3 over 2. Now, is it too easy or too hard? Too easy? All right, so let's turn up a little bit. So let's go with tangent of negative pi over 3. And you're going to be like, well, not only is not sine or cosine, it's tangent. Well, you should already know tangent is also. And what is negative angle? Which direction is negative angle? Clockwise or counterclockwise? Clockwise, right? Make sure it's clockwise, and that's the things that you want to go for. Okay, so that's called somebody who feeling uncomfortable. Let's go with Tony. You want to give it a try? Huh? No clue? You can't even make a mistake? You afraid? Square root 2 over 3? Okay, well, it's a good try. Let's go with Nicholas. What do you think?
Negative 2 radical 3 over 2.
Say that again.
Negative 2 radical 3 over 2.
I don't think so. But that's good try though. That's good effort. Daniel?
Square root 3.
Sam?
Negative on top.
Rock, draw.
Negative root 3 over 3.
Vasquez?
Negative square root of 3.
Negative square root of 3 is correct. Very, very good. But I like a lot of mistakes. That's what I'm here for. Otherwise, I'm pretty much useless. It's okay. Make mistake, it's fine. Don't be afraid. This is good. So tangent is equal to sine of the same thing over cosine of the same thing. And remember, this is around right here. Okay? And this is the triangle. This is the tall triangle, has a longer y value, so it'll be negative square root 3 over 2, but it's negative. And it's still positive for x because it's on the fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant has positive x. And that's equal to negative square root 3 over 2 times 2 over 1. Cancel out negative square root 3. So all you guys make mistake, correct your thinking. Where do you make mistake? Analyze it and fix it. That's how you become better at whatever you're doing. Cannot just tell me, I don't know. I don't care if you learned it or didn't learn it last year. I care about you if you know it right now. Let's do it. One more. Secant. Secant is 1 over what? 1 over cosine. Good. So secant of 4 pi over 3. And let's see if you guys can do this. If you need to look at empty unit circle, you can look at it. That way it can help you knowing the location is. If you can do it without it, that's good. Give me a second, I'll call you. I'll make sure everybody got it. And if you think that you are one of the best ever on finding exact value, then you can challenge me on a staring contest. I'm serious. That means you're going to call the unit circle values, let's say sine of pi over 3, but you not only cannot blink your eye, you can't even roll your eye. Now you're going to realize your body cannot control your eyeball once you start thinking about unit circles. So try to think about what is sine of 2 pi over 3 without rolling your eyes. Pretty difficult. I had one student ever beat me before. And we go all the way as high as, I think, cotangent of 211 pi over 3. But if you think about it, it's actually not that hard. Okay, so secant of 4 pi over 3. Reba, what do you think? Negative 2? Okay, let's see. Rograph, do you have different answer?
No, I was gonna say.
Okay. Oh, you gotta say the same?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see if you guys are right. So 4 pi over 3 is which quadrant? What is 3 pi over 3? This is 4 pi over 3. It's right here. So it's a 4 pi over 3 is right here. Then you say, okay, that seems like a skinnier triangle. It's more closer to y-axis. It should have smaller x value. So it'll be 1 over cosine of 4 pi over 3. And that's equal to 1 over 1 over negative half. Because it's a 4 pi over 3. And that's equal to 1 divided by negative 1 half. So the 1 times negative 2 over 1. So negative 2. Is that what you guys say?
Yeah.
Negative 2? Okay, good. That's how you get it right. Let me ask you a tricky one. What is tangent of 5 pi over 2? Does everybody understand previous one? Do you want me to explain again? Okay. So do you understand secant of 4 pi over 3? Is 1 over cosine of 4 pi over 3 because secant, and that's reciprocal identity. So cosine of 4 pi over 3, this is 3 pi over 3. Remember I told you this is the anchor, and just go 1 more pi. So this at the third quadrant has a negative x value because it's on the left side of x-axis. And that triangle has a skinnier x, so it's 1 half. It's not square root of 2 over 2. It's not square root of 3 over 2. Square root of 3 over 2 is 2y. So it's 1 half. So it'd be 1 divided by negative 1 half. Keep change flip. That's why it's the negative 2.
I still don't understand when you got the 1 half.
1 half is, I go look at unit circle when cosine of 4 pi over 3. It's going to be right here. 4 pi over 3. This is 1 half. Remember, this is a skinny triangle. It has a smaller x value compared to, see visually, you can see this is longer y value. So that's it have to be half. If the blue one is going to be equal, this is square root of 2 over 2, and this square root of 2 over 2. If this one is going to be shorter, and this is square root of 3 over 2. And that's why you memorize the unit circle form. You got it? Okay, so let's see. Tangent of 5 pi over 2. Rograph. Anybody have a different answer? No? Agree? Agree? Last class, agree? Agree? Good. And fine. Thou shalt not divide by 0. That's like why? Because you got sine of 5 pi over 3, 5 pi over 2, and the cosine of 5 pi over 2. Now, 5 pi over 2 is on the axis. It's on the y-axis because you rotate, that's going to be 4 pi over 2, and you're going to rotate another quarter circle. So that's equal to 1 on the top, 0 on the bottom. That's why equal to undefined. Okay, pretty easy, right? Okay, let's go with a little bit more intense. Let's go with cosecant of negative -17 pi over 3. Call you Sheldon, but I want to wait for everybody else. If you got an answer, just show me. I'll tell you it's right or wrong. You got an answer, show me. You have it here. And then it's gone. Oh, the sphere. Nope.
Oh, never mind.
Nope. Wait, hold on a second. Is that first one? Is it? Let me double check. Okay, so let me check. Okay, so somebody says, so let's check. If I rotate once, how many angle is that? Which is what in term radian is what? 2 pi, 2 pi is 6 pi over 3, right? Now I'm gonna rotate another time. 12 pi over 3. And how do I get to 17? I need to rotate 5 more pi, right? Oh yeah, it's positive. No, you're right. Sorry, Charlotte. So this part is right here. So this one is negative 17 pi over 3. That's almost same thing as equal to pi over 3. So that's equal to 1 over sine of pi over 3 because that's same location. And that's equal to 1 over square root 3 over 2. That's 2 over square root 3. If you rationalize it, it's 2 square root 3 over 3. And that's how you're gonna. Well, if it's on multiple choice on the AP exam, it's always rationalized. The answer choice is always rationalized. But FRQ, they don't care. FRQ is 1 over square root 3 is same thing as square root 3 over 3. So the same thing. It's like saying 2 over 4 instead of 1/2. It's not the wrong answer. It's just easy for grading. That's a truth. Yes.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna ask, why did rationalize? Like, did you say it's easier for grading?
Yeah. Because if one person got 1 over square root 3, one person got square root 3 over 3, then it's very hard for grading because we have to go think about it. Yeah, we have to think about it. So we always told students to rationalize the denominator. But the truth is you never have to rationalize numerator or denominator. It really depends on the question. Because some question you need to rationalize the numerator.
Yeah.
We're gonna deal with some question we have to rationalize the numerator instead of rationalize the denominator. Some question we need to rationalize the denominator. So your answer is technically same thing as 2/4 and 1/2. There's no difference. But we lied to you in algebra 2 and we lied to you in pre-calc because that'd be easy to grade. That's true. Now, when I teach algebra 2 student, I'll be like, no, you always have to rationalize. When I teach pre-calc, I'm gonna say you always rationalize. When I teach calculus, I'm gonna say, okay, there was situational.
Yeah.
So it's not always true. Does that make sense? Okay. What will be tangent square of 5 pi over 3? 5 pi over 6. Tangent square of 5 pi over 6. Then you put this here. Which period of pre-calc you change to? So you don't have to change classes. You want to go find the teacher now and go talk to him? Just make sure that you just switch in. So that way you don't fall any more behind because they might have homework or they might have syllabus you can have. It's not I want to kick you out. I just want to make sure that you are.
I'll go talk to her.
Is Cooper or
Yeah, Cooper.
you might want to catch him before you leave. You go. One over 3 is correct. Well, how do I know it's 1 over 3? Well, first of all, you gotta figure out what tangent of 5 pi over 6. Remember, this is the same thing. This means sine of 5 pi over 6 over cosine of 5 pi over 6, right? And that's equal to, I think that's equal to half, and that's a negative square root 3 over 2. So it's 1/2 times 2 over square root 3. Cancel out 1 over square root 3 negative square, but square of that is still going to be the same thing, 1/3. Am I teaching too fast? Is this okay? Ilya, do you understand? I didn't ever call you.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna call you now. I don't, for some weird reason, I always miss Tony and Ilya. I call everybody else. I don't call you too. And Tony just hide behind the Ilya, so I don't call him. Yeah, he's like, I never call him. I didn't call you guys. Yes.
Can you explain just that last step one more time?
Oh, I take this divided by this.
Yeah.
So it becomes keep change flip. So it'll be 2 over square root 3.
Yes.
And I don't need to rationalize it because I'm going to square it anyway. So they kind of go away.
Okay.
And the negative sign square is going to be positive. What is secant of, I don't know, negative 5 pi over 4? Ilya, you're going to answer this one.
Is it 5 pi over 4?
Yep.
I know I got to 1 divided by -1/2.
Nope. It's not 1/2.
1 over.
It's 1 over cosine of 5 pi. That was really ugly. I'm sorry. Cosine of -5 pi over 4. So what is, Tony, what is the cosine of -5 pi over 4? There you go. It's actually negative, right? So that's equal to that. So it'll be 2 over -√2. And you're going to rationalize this. And so it'll be 2 square root 2 over 2. And it'll be end up to be negative square root 2, I think. Is that right? You can keep it or you can give it back to me. It's up to you. If you don't need it, just... Hello?
Hello.
What's this?
Hello. You're lucky school's over.
It's a
I
Mac.
was gonna make you put your phone out the window again.
Max is prank call me.
Was it good?
What a bastard. Oh. Nope, you didn't pass. A pi over 3. So 4 pi over 3.
I already told you. It's a zero in that whole thing. Okay. Bye. I tried to circle the ones that. For some of them.
That's not what it's growth.
There's something.
Can I see if I passed it? Or?
Oh, 2 pi.
There we go. That's what it was.
Circle this
Yeah.
that way.
I circled for most of them. I finished similar.
2 pi.
Yeah.
Good one.
That's the only thing I messed up. I felt bad.
Yeah, I hate when people mess up one and 2.
Yeah, it's like so thorough.
I didn't turn out.